My name is Basil Crozier. I'm the chair of the Royal Commonwealth Society of Ottawa and your host for tonight. The Royal Commonwealth Society of Ottawa has been around for over 50 years. It's a charitable organization which promotes the Commonwealth values, things like democracy, rule of law, diversity, women, youth, all of these great things. And we have a number of programs, one of them being education oriented. And this is now a program that we run. It's a program we inherited from the English Speaking Union. It was started by the English Speaking Union some more than 27 years ago. Once the English Speaking Union disbanded, we took it over and continuing to run it with the support of some of the English Speaking Union, former English Speaking Union members. To date, the competition has awarded over $30,000 to Ottawa high schools and students in performing arts based upon this Shakespeare on the Platform competition. COVID, however, has thrown us a curveball last fall. We are unable to conduct our regular live presentation at the University of Ottawa Theatre. And what we've done now is adopt a Zoom, a virtual live performance. So bear with us as we work through this technology. I imagine that a lot of you are familiar with the Zoom platform. What we'll be using today is also the chat function. So you can look at your menu system at the bottom and look at the chats. Maybe open up that into a small window, which will appear on the side of your screen, because we'll be using that during the performances. Tonight, we'll have a combination of live performances from 8 Ottawa high school students. And following the performance, at the end of the performance, you're invited to unmute your microphone in order to applaud and congratulate them. And then there will be a period of approximately 1 minute of time, which will be given to the judges to evaluate the scores for that performance. And during that minute, we will be actually asking a few knowledge questions to either test your knowledge or inform you a little bit more about Shakespeare. I would like to introduce right now our judges. The first judge, what we'll do is just ask them to give a little bit of a comment with regard to their involvement in theatre currently. Our first judge is Nicholas Leno.
Hi, Basil. Hi, everyone. Hi, thanks for having me. So my name's Nicholas. I'm the artistic director at A Company of Fools. A Company of Fools is a professional theater company here in Ottawa, known for our Shakespeare in the Park tour. So every year we tour a show to over 40 parks across the region and play in neighborhoods all across Ottawa and Eastern Ontario for Pass the Hat donations. We were off last year because of COVID, unfortunately, but things might be looking up this year. We'll see. And I'm a theater director, direct the shows, and very excited to be here tonight. So thanks for having me.
Thank you, Nicholas. A repeat judge for this competition. And now we'll go to Tom Kovalak, another judge.
Good evening, everyone. I'm the amateur of the two judges. I'm a member of Canada Theatre. I would probably be one of 2 certified Shakespeare freaks in the body of people that make up Canada Theatre. I have had the opportunity to direct a Shakespeare or 2. It's wonderful. It almost drove me mad, but it's wonderful stuff. My interest in this is very keen. I've now done this for 3 or 4 years. It's always been great fun. I do salute you for doing what you're about to do under different circumstances, and do enjoy yourselves, and we will see you afterwards, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom. Another repeat judge for us. So we'll be moving to the performances momentarily. The contestants, or the players, we might call them, are judged on 9 different criteria, and then an overall evaluation of the performance for a total of 100 points. The judges will be doing these assessments immediately following the presentation, and then during which we will have chat questions being posed to the audience at large to respond to, and then we will move on to the next performance. Our first contestant tonight will be Lukas O'Halloran from Lisgar Collegiate Institute. He will introduce himself, his character, and the play from which he is performing. Thank you, Lukas.
Hello. So I'm Lukas O'Halloran. I will be playing Jacques from As You Like It, Act 2, Scene 7. Yeah, so wait, I was just trying. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant, musing and puking in the nurse's arms. And then the whining schoolboy with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like snail unwillingly to school. And then the lover, sighing like furnace, with woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow. And then the soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like the bard, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation even in the cannon's mouth. Then the justice, with fair round belly, with good cap lined, with eyes severe and beard of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances. And so he plays his part. The 6th age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side, his youthful hose well saved, a world too wide for his shrunk shank, and his big manly voice turning again towards childish treble pipes and whistles his sound. Last scene of all that ends this strange, eventful history is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Lukas. You can unmute and applaud. Very good. Now, we are starting our first period of reflection for the judges. And now what we're going to do is we're going to move to the chat feature, and we're going to be posing some questions for you to respond to. We'll try and keep track of who responds first.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You may have thought this contest was only for those brilliant performers on stage. You're in for a surprise. We have a contest for you too. For the minute between each contestant, each performance, we'll have an assortment of Shakespearean trivia questions. We'll begin with Shakespeare's life. I'll read it, and you can, I'll read the questions, and you can submit your answers in the chat. Shakespeare was born in...
Do you mean the date or the place?
Good question. The place was intended, but either is good. Okay, you're getting good answers. A long time ago. Extra points.
Avon upon
Stratford upon Avon, I think we're doing well. Avon upon Stanford, also very creative. Excellent. Glad to see a creative group. The intended answer is Stratford upon Avon. At 18, whom did Shakespeare marry? Name, age, background. Very good. Very good, Anne Hathaway. I see we've got some E's, some no E's. That's a really interesting question. Very good, a pretty lady. I hope so. Age, any guesses on her age?
Yes, he was 18 and she was.
18, according to our notes here, although I see some experts in the background, he was 18 and she was 26. All right, I think that's been a minute, so stay tuned for the next round of trivia after the next performance.
Okay, our next performer will be Elizabeth van Oorschot from Glebe Collegiate Institute.
I'm Elizabeth, playing as the porter from Macbeth. Here's a knocking indeed. If a man were porter of Hellgate, he should have old turning key. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? In the name of Beelzebub. Oh. Here's a farmer that hanged himself on the expectation of plenty. Come in, time. Have napkins and now about you. Here! Sweat for it. Knock, knock. Who's there? In the other devil's name. Faith, here's an equivocator. Who could swear in both the scales against either scale. That committed treason enough for God's sake, yet could not equivocate to heaven. Come in, equivocator. Oh. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? Oh. Faith, here's an English tailor come hither for stealing out of a French hose. Come in, tailor. Here you may roast your goose. Knock, knock. Never act quiet. What are you? This place is too cold for hell. Oh, devil porter it no further. I had thought to let in some of all profession that go the primrose way to the merry bonfire. Anon. I pray you, remember the porter.
Mute.
Very good again. Alexander, you have more questions for us.
All right, for your next 1 minute commercial break or trivia break. Continuing on the theme of Shakespeare's life, what was the name of Shakespeare's only son? And what became of him? Very good. Give you some more moments to Google, although we see some pretty good answers. Indeed, Shakespeare's son was named Hamnet and died during the plague at age 11. One more question. Name of the theater that Shakespeare built in London. And what was in the neighborhood? The Globe Theatre, very nice. On the south bank of the River Thames, among the brothels and artists, is what I'm indicated in my notes. Has anybody been to the revived Globe Theatre? Very nice.
Lukas, very good.
Okay, some real Shakespeare fans.
Rosemary Nolan. Yeah.
Very good. All right, our minute is up. More questions next time.
Okay. Moving right along. Our next contestant is Amira Abu Al-Sam from Colonel By Secondary School. Amira.
Hello, my name is Amira Abul-Sam. I'm playing the character Lady Anne from the play Richard III.
One moment, your video is not on. Just 1 second.
Your video is on. I just forgot to spotlight you in time. Go ahead, you're good.
Foul devil, for God's sake, hence and trouble us not, for thou hast made the happy earth thy hell, filled it with cursing cries and deep exclaims. If thou delight to view thy heinous deeds, behold this pattern of thy butcheries. O gentlemen, see, dead Henry's wounds. Open their congealed mouths and bleed afresh. Blush, thou lump of foul deformity, for 'tis thy presence that exhales this blood. From cold and empty veins where no blood dwells. Thy deeds inhuman and unnatural provokes this deluge most unnatural. O God, which this blood match, revenge his death. O earth, which this blood drinks, revenge his death. Either heaven with lightning strike the murderer dead, or earth gape open wide and eat him quick, as thou dost swallow up this good king's blood, which his hell-governed arm hath butchered. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
Alexander.
All right, next round. Shakespeare's writings are the second most quoted in the world. After what text?
Bible.
This is getting lots of fast answers. Very good. The Bible.
Stop.
What is an addition? Star Wars. All right. Good to know. Harry Potter. Pretty close. Might
You're asking
overtake that
questions,
one of these
quizzes.
days. What was Shakespeare's connection with the Bible? Does anybody know? Aside from, having read it. Any guesses? Apparently, Shakespeare had a hand in the translation of the King James Version of the Bible. Very good. Very good, Amira's dad. Very good, Rosemary. All right. That brings us to the end of the Shakespeare's life questions. Why don't we get in a couple of common phrases that were coined by Shakespeare before we come back to our next performer. A wild, 2 more words. What phrase beginning with a wild? Very good. Very good. Rosemary Nolan, Cynthia Sugars. A wild goose chase. The naked. 1 more word. The naked. The naked truth.
Yes.
Wow, we've got some real fast experts here. I think this one everybody should know based on our wonderful performance that we just saw. Knock, knock. Very good. One more, and then we'll go back to the performance. Knock knock at heaven's door. Very good. Knock knock, who's there? Read the word swagger. Excellent. And one more. A heart. A heart. 2 words. A heart of gold. There we go. And back to the next performance.
Very good. This is fun seeing the answers coming up. So we'll be moving to our next performer, Mackenzie Comfort from Woodroffe High School.
Not
It's Cornfoot, and thank you.
and her.
I need
Cornfoot, yes.
Now I'm going to see the 4th and 5th. I hope this is recorded.
Hi, my name is Mackenzie Cornfoot. I will be reading for Perdita in The Winter's Tale. Oh, alas, you'd be so lean that blasts of January would blow you through and through. No, my fairest friend, would I had some flowers of the spring that might become your time of day. And yours that wear upon your virgin branches, yet your maidenhead's growing. Now, Proserpina, for the flowers now that frighted thou let's fall from Dis's wagon. Daffodils that come before the swallow dares and take the winds of March with beauty. Violets, dim but sweeter than the lids of Juno's eye was Cytherea's breath. Pale primroses that die unmarried ere they can behold bright Phoebus in his strength, a malady most incident to maids. Bold oxlips and the crown imperial, lilies of all kinds, the flower de luce being one. Oh, these I lack to make you garlands of, and my sweet friend, to strew him o'er and o'er. Thank you.
Very good, Mackenzie. My apologies on your name. There's small print here. That was very good. We'll now be moving to more questions. Before we do that.
All right. And for the time being, we're continuing with phrases coined by Shakespeare. We have to lie. One more word. To lie. To lie to love. Interesting. Not familiar with that quote. To lie in wait, also good. We have here to lie low. But those are all entirely possible. Here's a good one, although it may be hard to guess from one word. Good blank. Good, one word. Good morning, I like that. Good morrow. I'm not sure Shakespeare invented that.
Saying
Good
goodbye
company.
to something.
Interesting.
There's a form of saying goodbye to something. Good.
Not the most flattering way of saying goodbye. There we go. Good riddance, very nice. Come what? Come what hither, come what may, come what may, come what may. Indeed. Here's an interesting one. To not sleep a wink. To not sleep a wink, very good. To not sleep one wink, possibly. One more for now. It's also not necessarily the most flattering way of taking leave. To send him off isn't necessarily unflattering. Send him packing.
Send him packing.
Send him packing. Thank you. Very good. All right. We'll see you for another interlude after the next performance.
Now, just an opportunity to ask the judges if they have enough time in this 1 minute to actually provide a good evaluation and scoring. Tom, Nick, are you okay?
I wouldn't mind about another 20 seconds.
Okay, we'll build that in.
Can give you another 20 seconds. We've got plenty of questions.
Thank
Where
you.
were we? Send him packing. Oh, here's a nice one.
Nicholas, you're okay?
Vanish into.
Yes, I'm okay. Thank you.
Thin air. We have
Yes.
a lot of people who know their stuff. Very good. I think that was 20 seconds. So see you again soon.
Okay. We'll be moving to our next player, May Maguire from Woodroffe High School. May, please take the stage.
My name's May Maguire, and I will be playing Juliet from Romeo and Juliet, Act 2, Scene 2. Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Deny thy father, and refuse thy name. Or if thou wilt not, but be sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet. 'Tis thy name that is my enemy. Thou art thyself, though not a Montague. What's Montague? It is nor hand, nor foot, nor arm, nor face, nor any other part belonging to a man. Oh, be some other name. What's in a name for which we call a rose? By any other name would smell as sweet as Romeo would, were he not Romeo called. Retain that dear perfection for which he owes without that title. Romeo, doff thy name, and for thy name, which is no longer part of thee, take all myself.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, May. Very good.
All right. Another round of questions. Sam will give an additional 20 seconds for the judge's benefit. A few more short phrases. A piece of, this could probably be anything at all. A piece of my mind, a piece of work. Very good. I wonder if anybody who has more memory of more Shakespeare off by heart than I do can confirm if all of these are true. I like all of these. A piece of cake, very good. Piece of heaven. What we have here is a piece of my mind. Or sorry, no, we don't. We have a piece of work. A piece of work.
You are a
very kind, genteel thing to say to someone. Use it in good measure. Seen better. I've seen better days. Some of you are typing even faster than I can read the right answers. Seen better days. I think this is, we've gone through a year that most of us could say that. Seen better nights also. And one more. Well, you may be on your way to being the next Shakespeare, because he sure was just to be different with making up all of these things. Laughing. You could say that somebody is a laughing stock. Laughing stock. Excellent. And one more. This is a little bit less insulting. To break the ice. Very good. Break the mold, also something that you could do if you want to be the next Shakespeare and revolutionize the English language. Break the bank. Very good. All right, back to the next performer.
okay. You're just going to spotlight us. So the next performer will be Jing Dong Yu Wang from Bell High School. And we're just going to highlight her. Now,
I don't see her video. I know she was having connection troubles earlier.
there was some internet connectivity issues for her earlier in the day. So if she's not currently available, what we'll do is we will bypass her and look for her to join us later. Yeah. She doesn't seem to have her internet right now. Okay.
We'll keep an eye out and bump her into whenever she reappears. We'll slot her in.
Right. Very good. Then we will be moving to our next player, Morgan Sugars Keene from Glebe Collegiate Institute.
Hi, my name's Morgan Sugars Keene. I will be performing a Juliet speech from Romeo and Juliet, Act 4, Scene 3. Farewell. God knows when we shall meet again. I have a faint, cold fear, thrills through my veins that almost freezes up this heat of life. I'll call them back again to comfort me. Nurse! But what should she do here? My dismal scene, I needs must act alone. Come, vial. What if this mixture do not work at all? Shall I then be married tomorrow morning? No, no. This shall forbid it. Lie thou there. What if it be a poison that the friar subtly hath ministered to have me dead, lest in this marriage he should be dishonored, because he married me before to Romeo? I fear it is, and yet methinks it should not, for he hath still been tried a holy man. How if, when I'm laid into the tomb, I wake before the time that Romeo come to redeem me? There's a fearful point. Shall I not then be stifled in the vault, to whose foul mouth no healthsome air breathes in, and there die strangled ere my Romeo come? Or, if I live, is it not so very like that the horrible conceit of death and night, together with the terror of the place, as in a vault, an ancient receptacle, where for these many 100 years, the bones of all my buried ancestors are packed, where bloody Tybalt, yet but green and earth, lies festering in his shroud, where, as they say, some hours of the night, spirits resort. Alack! Alack! Is it not so very like that I, so early waking, with what loathsome smells and shrieks, like mandrakes torn out of the earth, that living mortals hearing them run mad? Oh, if I wake, shall I not be distraught, environed with all of these hideous fears, and madly play with my forefathers' joints, and pluck the mangled Tybalt from his shroud, and, in this rage, with some great kinsman's bone, as with a club, dash out my desperate brains? Oh, look. Methinks I see my cousin's ghost, seeking out Romeo, that has spit his body upon a rapier's point. Stay, Tybalt, stay. Romeo. Romeo. Romeo, here's drink. I drink to thee.
Way to get on that poll. Yes. Well done. Well done, Morgan. Thank you very much for that. We are
All
now,
right.
Alexander.
Thank you, Mr. Crozier. Yes, moving on to a few longer quotes of Shakespeare. This one should be a bit familiar for those who are paying close attention this evening. All the world's a stage.
Complete it, please.
All the world's a stage. And you get to complete the sentence. Very good, Lucas. I would hope you would know that. Here's another one. If music be the food of love, play on. Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them. Honesty is the best policy. If I lose my, I'll stop there. If I lose mine, if I lose mine honor, I lose myself. Very good. Here's a piece of wisdom. Own more than thou blank. Speak less than thou blank. Own more than thou blank. Speak less than thou. Any guesses? Close. West. Oh, knowest. Good. Good, good. First word. Own more than thou. What owest? Showest. Own more than thou showest. Actually, could be owest. That makes a lot of sense too. I don't know. I don't have the original open, but on my sheet it says showest. Nature must obey. Nature must obey. Any guesses? What must nature obey? Give you a few seconds. Nature must obey necessity. From Julius Caesar. Okay, looks like that's been a minute. So on to our next performer. You're muted.
Yes, I was just trying to contact our missing contestant. She's not there. We were going to give an extra 20 seconds.
I think we're past 20 seconds, but we can open up with one more question of our next set. CBC Shakespeare in Canada quiz is the source of these little gems. In which Canadian province would you find the village of Shakespeare? Let's start with an easy one. In which Canadian province would you find the village of Shakespeare? Ontario. Very good. What village?
Shakespeare.
Very good. All right. So we can move on to our last contestant, then try to reach our missing contestant one more time.
Right. So our last contestant, well, we'll see if we can get reconnected with Jing Dong Yu. But right now, we will be hearing from Kate Martins from Immaculata High School. Kate, floor is yours.
Hi, so my name is Kate, and I will be playing Lady Macbeth from Macbeth. Yet, here's a spot. Out depth spot. How do I say? 1, 2. Why? Then 'tis time to do it. Hell is murky. Fine, my lord, fine. A soldier interfered. What need we fear? Who knows it? When none could call our power to account. Yet, who would have thought the old man has so much blood in him? The Thane of Fife had a wife. Where is she now? What will these hands ne'er be clean? more of that, my lord. No more of that. You mar all with this start. Here's a smell of blood. Still, all the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand. Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you yet again, Banquo's buried. He cannot come out odds grave. To bed. To bed. There's knocking at the gate. Come, 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 come. Give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. To bed. To bed. To bed. Thank you.
Very good. Very good. Thank you again. So now we'll have a period for the judges to provide a score for Kate, but also to reflect on the other performances, the relative performances over the night, and we'll be giving them a bit of time to do that in terms of giving their final score so that we can come up with our final winners, which we will be announcing tonight. So are there a few more that you wanted to? I think the Canadian quiz was quite good, Alexander. Do you want to give a few more of those, and then we can move on to some other items?
All right, I'll do a small handful from the Canadian quiz. The 1983 Canadian comedy Strange Brew, based on SCTV characters Bob and Doug Mackenzie, borrows its plot line from which Shakespearean play? Guesses as wild as you want if you have not seen Strange Brew.
I think we need to give that answer away.
All right, I'll move on. The answer is Hamlet. Margaret Atwood's 2016 novel Hagseed is a reimagining of which play? Very good. The Tempest. In 1956, which noted Canadian actor was Christopher Plummer's understudy in Henry V during the Stratford Festival? Very nice. William Shatner. Okay. Wow, we've got a lot of very knowledgeable people. This is a fun one. Which Prince Edward Island town shares its name with one of Shakespeare's illustrious households in fair Verona? Which Prince Edward Island town shares its name with one of Shakespeare's illustrious households in fair Verona? Montague, Prince Edward Island. Capulet, also a good guess, but apparently that doesn't exist. Has anybody been to Montague, PEI? No. Much closer. Oh, very good. ELFCCFLS. Not sure who you are, but glad to hear it. I was going to be disappointed. Everybody here has been to the Globe Theater across the ocean, and nobody's been so close to home. Montague, PEI. Very good. I'm glad to hear it's beautiful. We'll mark it down on our itineraries. Which unused railway tunnels, now a popular hiking trail in British Columbia, share their name with a tragic Shakespearean character? Which unused railway tunnels, now a popular hiking trail in British Columbia, share their name with a tragic Shakespearean character? And you can make it up. I've got some made-up options that are not the correct answer. Cymbeline Underpass, Cressida Line, Hamlet Passage. Good guess, Lucas. Those are all the from the original multiple choice option. Those are all possibilities. 5 more seconds for a guess. Desdemona also creative. Close, actually very close. Crias also creative. The unused railway tunnels that are a popular hiking trail in British Columbia are named the Othello tunnels. Very good, Rosemary. I think you took the hint, or you saw that. Has anybody been there? Anybody been out to the Othello tunnels? I'm guessing not. And that is a good little handful of Canadian Shakespeare trivia. Over to Mr. Crozier. Oh wait, before I go, I have to announce the winners. There's an honorable mention to all of you for your creative and entertaining and very expert participation in Shakespeare trivia. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for all of those teasers of Shakespeare that we've had to struggle through. Some of us knew them, some of us didn't, but it's very interesting. We learn a lot when we end up listening to Shakespeare, listening to the history of him and everything like that. There was an interesting comment that I heard about Shakespeare, and it is that Shakespeare should not be read, but played. And with that in mind, what I'm going to do is try and share my screen as I present a little bit. Oops, I have to share first. An excerpt from UK. So I'm share screen. Here we go. Okay, so there we go. Bear with me. We are now going to be looking at this. Is a very famous actor that you'll see from the Globe Theatre, who plays Hamlet, and we're going to be hearing some support for him in terms of the interpretation of to be or not to be. Please just enjoy these little excerpts.
To be or not to be. That is the question.
Sorry. I mean, yes. Yes, but if you don't mind a note, or to be or not to be.
Try this. To be or not to be. That is the question.
Don't lose focus. To be or not to be, that is the question.
To be or not to be, that is the question. To be or not to be, that is the question.
To be or not to be.
To be or not to be, that is the question.
I pray thee, gentle mortal, sing again. Mine ear is much enamored of thy note.
Oh.
So is mine eye enthralled to thy shape. And thy fair virtue's force, perforce does move me. On the first view, to say, to swear, I love thee.
Methinks, mistress, you should have little reason for that. And yet, to say the truth, reason and love do keep little company together nowadays. The more the pity that some honest neighbours will not make them friends. Nay, I can cleek upon occasion.
Thou art as wise as thou art beautiful.
Not so, neither. But if I had wit enough to get out of this wood, I have enough to serve my own turn.
Out of this wood do not desire to go. Thou
Okay. Just juggling between systems here. So I think that was very representative of the issue about it's not just to be read, it's to be performed. It's to put the character into the words. And I think that's a perfect way to introduce Shakespeare actually in the classroom. So we actually have the results, and I will be reading off the, we have prize money for the top 4 positions. So I will be reading off first the 4th position, moving up to the 1st position. So the person in 4th place tonight on the 27th Shakespeare on the Platform competition, the player is Maguire from Woodroffe High School. The person in the 3rd position, Mackenzie Cornfoot from Woodroffe High School. The player in the 2nd position, Lukas O'Halloran from Lisgar Collegiate Institute. And the winner tonight of the 27th Shakespeare on the Platform competition is Morgan Sugars-Keen from Glebe Collegiate Institute. Congratulations to all of the performers. There will be a certificate of participation provided to all of the contestants tonight. I will now be asking John Wright to award the prize to the school, the winning school being Glebe Collegiate Institute. Morgan, your teacher is, do you happen to know if they are on tonight?
I don't think so.
Okay, okay. John Wright, over to you. Alexander, can you spotlight John?
I can't find him. I think he fell off the call.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Okay, so the winning school is Glebe Collegiate Institute. So a $500 prize will be going to Glebe Collegiate to support the performing arts. And we thank their support of Morgan and Morgan's family in contributing to this winning performance tonight. Thank you very much to Glebe Collegiate, the winning school for tonight's competition. Before we go, I would like to acknowledge, first, I'd like to give the judges an opportunity to speak to the contestants about tonight's performance. First, I'd like to ask Tom Kobalak to provide any comments that he might have to tonight's performance.
Thank you all for again having me as a judge for this evening of entertainment. I want the participants to realize that what you did this evening is really, really hard. You're dealing with 420-year-old language. You're dealing with these extraordinary circumstances because Shakespeare does not write about taking out the garbage. You're dealing with huge characters who talk all the time, and you're dealing with Zoom. And that's really tough. I want to congratulate you all. I want you to all enjoy the fact of what you've accomplished over the course of the last probably several weeks. And I want you to continue to enjoy your love of language, because that's slipping away from us. And I think that's quite sad. And I'm always impressed and uplifted by seeing people who enjoy language as much as the group of you did. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom. And now I'd ask Nick Leno if he would like to make any comments to the contestants.
Yes, I'll echo everything Tom said. He said it very brilliantly and eloquently, as he always does. I think that there's a myth that exists about actors, this idea of talent, that, you know, you're just kind of born an actor. Some people can do it and some people can't. I think it's something that can be taught. I think it's something that comes from working really hard, which all of you did tonight. I think one thing that you can teach is joy for telling stories. And I think all of you have that. And it was really wonderful to watch all of you tonight. As Tom said, Shakespeare's a 400-year-old language. And there's something really special about a group of young people who are excited by it and want to investigate it. I think in order to do what you all did tonight, it takes critical thinking. It takes patience. It takes curiosity. And it takes a lot of courage. And I think those are all things that we really need in our world right now. So thank you. Thank you so much for doing this. I always love coming to this because I get a chance to see the actors that are going to be on Canada's stages in the next 10 years. And that's something really, really special. So I'll do my best to provide you all with lots of really specific comments about your performances. But I won't go on anymore, but I could. So thank you so much for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick.
Basil, I disappeared at the crucial moment, I gather. Did you cover it for me?
I did, yes. Sorry.
Okay, good.
But yes, thank you both, Nick Leno and Tom Kovalak. They will actually be reviewing the recording of the performances and providing the individual performers more detailed comments in terms of their critique. So it's a lot of work. It's great to have these people with such experience to be our judges. So much appreciated, Tom and Nick. But at the same time, I'd also like to acknowledge the work that the planning team for this event have undertaken. I'd like to acknowledge Margaret Jones, who has been a longtime chair of this program, the planning team. I'd like to acknowledge John Wright, who you just saw, who has been beavering away in the background, compiling information and helping organize the event. I'd like to acknowledge Barbara McDonald Moore, who's been the shepherd for getting the judges on board and organized. And also, last but not least, Alexander Moss, who was a previous participant in the Shakespeare on the Platform competition and wanted to give back by joining our committee. Thanks to the entire planning committee. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight and supporting the performing arts. We shall be seeing you next year for the 28th Shakespeare on the Platform competition. And if you have any comments to help us work out the bugs of using Zoom, if we end up having to use that, please provide them. We hope you've enjoyed the evening. Good evening and good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Basil.
for hosting this. It must have been really difficult.
Thank you.
So, thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Can I say a word, Basil?
Yes, please do.
Can I congratulate you and the other members of the committee who have worked so hard and have produced a seamless competition this evening. I know we had a lot of help from Alexander, but everybody has worked extremely hard and it has all paid off. Well done.